Hello everyone, DCB here, and welcome to another video. In this one I would like to talk a bit more about mental health and that it's okay to have mental health issues and to be suffering, but you don't have to suffer alone. Okay? Okay. As always with these videos I must make a disclaimer. I am not a trained physician, psychiatrist, sociologist, or anything to do with mental health. This is just things that I have experienced myself and had people talk to me about. They've opened up to me as a friend, and hopefully I've helped them in some way to understand, that they're not alone and that it is okay to have these thoughts and feelings. So after this year, well, since 2020, we've had a bit of an issue. We've had our lives, our routines, our habits completely turned upside down and dumped on the head due to a viral pandemic outbreak, known as COVID-19. This has caused a great deal of social, economic, and mental instability. Mental instability is what I want to try and focus on. Of course, this is these things that I've experienced. No sort of official figures or anything like that. So, myself, have been I've been on furlough, so that means I've not been at work. I've been paid by the government to keep myself indoors and to basically completely eliminate all contact pretty much with the outside world. Even though the government have said I can do essential shopping and go for a daily exercise, I felt that it was irresponsible to go outside and do exercise. So I literally spent the majority of last year indoors and the majority of this year, 2021, also indoors, though this year I have done a bit more going outside. I've started to go outside a bit more, and that's the first thing, because like all animals, we need natural light, we need outside space, we need to be in a habitat that is good for our size, the human size, whatever that may be. Most flats, especially one-bedroom flats, aren't really big enough for one person to be in constantly. The lack of space to be mobile in and to explore and just generally wander around in isn't really big enough for ourselves. So because of that lack of natural light, that has had a negative aspect and effect on our mental health. And because we've not had physical interactions or been able to be close to other people, that's also had another negative aspect. Yes, we've had things like Messenger, WhatsApp, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Discords, and other such platforms to communicate with others. Some people find that very, very difficult to do. In fact, we've got our mobile phones now, which we can text, and call, and email on, and still we find that hard to communicate with others. This is because we humans are very social animals, and we actually need the person to be there. We're still adjusting to the age of technology. It's still something pretty new for us as a species. Even though mobile phones have been around since the mid-1980s, that's still only like 30 years for that, and they didn't really become popular until the late 90s, early 2000s. So that's not even 20 years, really. Just about 20 years for us together. The internet wasn't really a thing until in everyone's house until the late 2000s, coming into the 2010s. In some places still don't have the internet or a reliable internet. There was dial-up when I was growing up. Dial-up is a form of internet where you literally had to dial into the phone line, and if somebody was on the phone, good luck with that. Or if you had a phone call coming in, your internet would cut out for that phone call to come in. And there was a lot more phone calls back then on landlines than there is now. So yeah, that was developing. So yeah, that's still a new piece of technology, and we still haven't fully learned how to use it to help us with our communication with others. Though, I must say, in the Discord group that I discovered late September, I want to say, on Discord group, it's a very active group, very, very supportive. I've made many friends there, and they've talked to me. We've had voice calls, we've had text chats, and I've got to learn a lot about new people. I've been quite lucky over the lockdowns. Obviously, being married means that I get to spend time with my wife. I get to actually have some human interaction, but still, that is very difficult. Because it's the only person I get to have human interactions with on a one-to-one. Actually get to physically see them, touch them, shake hands, cuddle, that kind of thing. That's still very difficult, and it puts a lot of stress on us both. She's of course in an essential service, so she's been working throughout this time period, and that's put stress on her mental health. How it's like, why do you get to stay at home and I still got to work, kind of thing. And she also has asthma, which she has to take an inhaler for, twice a day. Twice a day, so twice a day. There we go, words. They'll come out eventually. So of course this put a strain on her mental health. She goes to work, she sees people not obeying the guidance, the law, people who just don't care coming in to her place of work. That's been very stressful for her. And then to come home to me, who's literally been at home all day, either hoovering, cleaning, trying to cook. I'm not a very good cook, I'll say that now. And it's immediately like, you're home, kind of thing, It's been very, very stressful for her. I've done my best to not be so clingy, not be so huggy. But it's very, very difficult because I'm not getting any sort of other human interaction. But now things are being lifted again. Things are being lifted again because we have a vaccine, we have a vaccine, yay! Still haven't had my first dose, and neither has my wife, who's asthmatic and works in a central service, so, in fact, she should have been shielding through the first lockdown, and this has been said by her doctors, that she should have received a shielding letter, which she never did. Though knowing her, she probably would have torn up, threw it in the bin and gone to work anyway, because she's not one to, just stop. Just stop. But there are people out there, we've all had issues, people have lost loved ones during this time, be that children, parents, brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, husbands, wives. People have lost people during this time, and it has been so difficult for them. They've not been able to have the normal support that they would have from their family and their friends during this time period. They've had it really, really bad. And there's people who are carers for their siblings, for their parents, and they've had it really tough because there's not really financial support for them in the first place. And then they have to work 1 or 2 jobs, and that really gets them, especially at this moment where there's not 1 or 2 jobs, or they only have temporary jobs, because they need to be a carer for their parents or their siblings. And if their siblings are of working age or classified as adults, and they don't work, then it's even more difficult for them, putting more and more stress onto them, as well as any sort of other mental issues that would be happening at the time. So, why? Why is mental health such a thing? Why is it still looked down upon? Why is it still stigmatized? Why do people still feel that it's not okay to talk about it and express what they're feeling deep inside? Guilt, shame, and stuff to do with the way that we're brought up, if you think about it. At least that's what I believe. That's what I struggle with. Because when you're brought up, you're told to be strong. You know, you're supposed to not shed a tear, you know. You're supposed to be a man, for men anyway, you know. You're told all this. You're told this, you know. Oh, why are you crying? I'll give you something to cry about. Don't cry, I'll give you something to cry about. Oh, stop being stupid, get up. Be a man, be strong, you know. But it's the same for women. They're expected to be a certain way too. You know, they're told to do certain things. I don't know how to say what they are. I'm not a woman. I can't tell you. But even they feel ashamed to talk about their mental health. You know, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You know, stigmatism behind somebody with mental health issues is ridiculous. Luckily, more and more employees and people in general are becoming aware, you know, that it's not something to be ashamed of. You know, it's something that we need to help people with, and luckily there are many good employers out there that do what they can to help their employees who are suffering from mental health issues. There are also many that don't. But of course, the employee who's having those mental health issues has to feel comfortable talking to their employer about it. And that's still a struggle for them. We are ashamed of having these issues. We are ashamed of needing the help and support to help us get better, to help us not be ill. It's an illness, you know. Mental health is an illness. There's something going on in the brain, chemicals, things. I don't actually know, you know. It's just stuff. And only by opening up, only by voicing these thoughts that we have inside, can we start down the path to recovery. At least that's what I believe. As I say, I've suffered from it in the past, and I say if it hadn't been for my wife and this Discord server that I had found during this lockdown period, the whole year, I would probably have been doing very silly stuff and might even not be here. That's how bad my mental health was going. It's started to improve, which is great. I've been able to talk to people, I've been able to voice these things, I've been able to chat to people. I've been more and more communicative with people. I've sought help and received it. And if there's anything I can do for people who are in the same situation, then I will. You know, I've been talking to people who've opened up to me about what's going on in their lives, and I've said, look, it's okay to have these thoughts. It's okay to feel like this. Just let me know what's in your mind. Let it out. Just speak to me. Just feel. Just blab away. I don't mind. Yeah, if you want, I can give you some pointers on what I've done. I can try and help you with some bits, but I'm not a professional. I will be your friend, a supportive friend, and that is one of the most important things, is having that support network. So if you're suffering from mental health issues, if you're having depression, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling upset, reach out to somebody and talk to them. I don't care who it is. Just reach out and talk to somebody, anybody. Family or friends, a support line that is there for people all of this time. There are many out there. Your doctors, you know, your employer, somebody, anybody, just reach out and talk to them. Just let it out. The worst thing we can do is bottle up our emotions and how we feel. That causes us the most issues. Anyway, that's all for this video. I do hope that it's helped in some way to express, you know, that it's okay to suffer with mental health issues, and that, you know, people are there to help you and support you, you know, and that you're not alone. That's the most important thing to remember, is that you're not alone. As always, If you're enjoying the content, please subscribe to the video. Put your thoughts in the comments below about how you believe mental health is still stigmatized and how we can work to improve that and get rid of that stigmatization. Like the video if you've enjoyed the content, and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Until the next one, this is DCB. Knowledge is power if we use it wisely.